Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we bring you not only round 6 of season 25 from Laguna Seca of Sunday Night Lights, but myself, Alex McKellar, and Corey Steinhauser, the chaotic one himself, are pleased to announce that we've got our strongest field of races ever. We've got 261 strength of field here tonight, Corey. That's nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure.
Definitely not, Alex. And, that means that we should have an absolutely excellent race here tonight. And, having just a look down the list of names that we've assembled for this, we've got a couple of people that we haven't seen for a while, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. The number one car back with a vengeance and getting the tyres up to snuff early on. Benny Simonson for Apex Racing. Great to see Benny back. Of course, he's off in the class of the field. Be interesting to see what he can do here tonight. Naoya Nagai, he's joining us once again. He's lightning fast in quali. What can he do in the big one here tonight? Julian O'Fray, of course, leading the series at the moment. Car number 3 out on track tonight. Sam Devantier, the cowboy himself for Speedy Snails. He's the 4th plated car tonight after really improving his I rating in the last few weeks after doing about 1 billion races. Car number 5 not in the survey yet is Christian Perez, and he is an absolute gun and a skippy. Look forward to seeing what Christian can do tonight. His Iberian counterpart, Oscar Chinchilla Maza, joins us once again. Good to see Brett McBurney back in the chair, Corey. Car number 7 here tonight. He's had a busted leg, the McFlabby Racing driver, and good to see him back in the skip though. Again, interesting to see what he can do tonight. Nathan Wade, race winner at Hungaro Ring. He joins us again, car number 8. Oh, I've skipped one. Laura Samadio, the first of the Italians here tonight in car number 9. His compatriot, Giuseppe Tellini from Italy also. He's in car number 10, Corey.
That's right, Alex. Now, coming up as the 11th plated car from the Japan Club is going to be Kawabe-san. Great to see Kawabe back on track more often than not these days. As always, going to be great to see what he can do on the track. And Corey Lean from the OzNZ Club is going to be our 12th plated car here tonight. And our 3rd of the 4 Japanese contingent, Takumi Yamato. Great to see Takumi. He's been improving a lot in the past few weeks, and he should be one to watch. We also have Kevin Budgeon back from the UK and I Club as the 14th plated car, with Nick Vaughan Roberts, our live wire from the UK and I Club, as the 15th plated car. Xavier Sanchez from Iberia making a return as the 16th plated car here tonight. Hiroshi Ueda from the Japan Club wrapping up our 4 of the Japanese contingent in the 17th plated car. And Vasco Swarovski with just 2 spotters here tonight rather than the whole army is going to be in the 18th car from OzNZ Club. And wrapping up our field from the Asia Club is Dimitri Filipides in a 19 car, Alex.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen this before. Dimitri is one of our regulars in the top split. He snuck in as the final car here with an I rating of 4,205, Corey. I tell you, it's going to be a big night out there with the biggest field, strongest field certainly we've ever seen. So fascinating to see how we go. Laura Samadio setting the early pace with a 36.8. Decent first lap, Corey, around here in a skip, and certainly continuing his good form. But I do expect a couple of the others, maybe. There's one. Benny Simonson jumps up to the top of the table. I do expect to see young Nagai-san from Japan at some point drop in a fast one as well.
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. We've got a lot of very quick steerers of race cars in the on the track right now. Simonson, as you said, at the top of the 36.647 at the moment, and that's only going to get lower as we keep going on. Nagai-san is in P2 as well, so we've got 1 and 2 as 1 and 2 at the moment in qualifying, Alex.
Yeah, Nagai-san has dropped it on the front row provisionally with another lap to go. I expect him to improve. The question is, can he bridge that 1.5 tenths gap or even improve on the lap of Benny Simonson? Julian O'Fray, current series leader, provisionally in 4th, starting from the 3rd row of the grid if nothing changes, as we hear the beautiful sounds of the river strips as he runs up the Rahal straight on the approach to the corkscrew on his 2nd of 2 flying laps. Nathan Wade, of course, did so well at the Hungaro Ring. Goes through the kink and invalidates his second lap, so he's not going to get any higher than fifth. Vaughan Roberts for Two Fools Racing, the Welshman. Car number 15 here tonight, as you said, Corey, but looking to make an impression. Loris Amadio's done his second lap and hasn't gone any further up the order. Yamato, if you don't mind. Takumi Yamato's finished his second lap and is sitting provisionally on the front row. Sam Devante's come from nowhere with the 36.6. Just stick it on pole briefly before Simonson grabs it from him. Now, the one to watch from here is Vaughan Roberts. Jumps up O'Fray, faster than Simonson as well. What's Nagai-san got? Oh, this is exciting, Corey. It's only quali. We haven't even started yet. Nagai-san crosses the line and what does he do? He drops it on pole with a 36 dead, just ahead of Julian O'Fray, Corey.
These times are absolutely incredible, Alex. I can't believe at the caliber of the field that we've got. These guys have just put it all on the line and they have got some massive times under their belts. A 36.0. I didn't think I'd be able to see that around a Laguna Seca.
Not in quali, that's for sure. And he's done it by 35 1,000ths ahead of O'Fray. Simonson pipped as well by a full 10th, if you don't mind. Kawabe-san, he's dropped it on the third row in 6th. That's a decent effort there, Corey. So everyone's come out and everyone's firing straight away. I mean, what do we got? The top 17 drivers separated by under a second, the whole field by 1.2 in qualifying. That's outstanding, and I expect that we'll see some pretty good racing out there as a result, mate.
I generally hope we do, Alex, because with the margins being this close, it means we should be in for some tight, twisty racing through some of these sections, especially heading up the Rahal Straight into the Corkscrew. It's an area that can definitely catch you out if you're mid-battle, and we should expect to see maybe a little bit of action there also, too, with the Andretti hairpin officially turn number 2.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's one of the key opportunities of the draft not being what it used to be. These days, you don't get as much of a run into the hairpin and quite often find yourself on the outside attacking rather than the inside or clear and having a clear run. It depends on how the folks around you want to work together, if they do indeed want to work together. But, yeah, look, we'll find out soon enough, I have no doubt. 10 seconds left in quali. There's a few folks are doing cool-down laps, including Ueda and O'Fray. Marza's still out there just getting the lay of the land, although O'Fray well offline there. Practicing, there you go. That's what you need to do to become one of the best, is practice different lines, folks. We say it often and, you know, there's a good example of it. Now, off to our starting grid. Season 25, round 6 from Laguna Seca. Biggest bumper block of drivers we've seen ever. Naoya Nagai drops it on pole with a 36 dead, just ahead of Julian O'Fray from France. Some 35 1,000ths behind him, joining him on the front row. Starting on the second row tonight will be Apex Racing's Benny Simonson as he comes back to the series after a significant hiatus. Nick Vaughan Roberts for Two Fools Racing joins him on the second row, starting 4th. Leading ANZ driver in qualification was Sam Devantier, the cowboy himself for Speedy Snail, starting in 5th. Gael Kawabe from Japan starting in 6th, continuing a good run of form in quali. Oscar Chinchilla Maza from Iberia starting in 7th tonight. Joining him on the 4th row will be Takumi Yamato, starting in 8th. Doctors Wave Italy team racer Giuseppe Tellini starts from 9th tonight, just ahead of Nippy Racing's Kevin Bugden from UK&I. Loris Amadio, the second Italian driver in the race tonight, starts from 11th, just ahead of Corey Lean, who starts 7/10ths behind the leader after quali, as we go to page 2. 13th tonight, McFlabby Racing's Brett McBurney joins us for the first time in a long time. Dimitri Filippidis joins him on the 7th row of the grid from Asia. Vasco Surovsky for Team Clown starts in 15th. Alongside him will be Nathan Wade from UK&I, Xavier Sanchez from Spain out of 17th tonight. Hiroshi Ueda, the final Japanese driver, starting in 18th. And Christian Perez, who hasn't set a time and in fact has not joined the server, will not be racing by the looks of Corey. Unfortunately, every time he has the worst luck in Sunday Night Lights. He just never seems to quite make the grid, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate. Having a little look through the list, he is counted as being in as the revs are starting to rise now. Red lights mean rev. And the green light's been go. We are off and racing. I think he is actually in the race, Alex, but I'm not sure if he made it to the grid or not, as the field goes streaming down into turns number 1 and then the preceding turn number 2 for the hairpin.
Yeah, here we go. They're kicking up cones everywhere. There's people going left, right and centre. We've got Blinky Bill in here somewhere with the worst network connection I've seen in some time as well. But we seem to have made it through the first couple of corners without incident, Corey, and folks are getting on with the job, so to speak.
Yeah, it's definitely the way it seems, and we should be able to expect this from such a high strength of field, high caliber driver. These guys all have the race smarts to be able to get through these corners without too much hassle. Although I'm looking in the back of the pack here, Giuseppe Tellini, Corey Lean and Loris Amadio having a little bit of a battle there a little bit. But Nagai-san leading the way here as we start heading towards the Rahal Straight and the Corkscrew, Alex.
Yeah, up the hill, first time round. Fantastic part of this circuit. Look at, oh gee, they're tight. Very, very tight through here. What can they get done? Through the corkscrew on the first time. Of course, one of the most enticing passing opportunities into the braking zone of the corkscrew. Nagai-san has taken the aggressive stance. He's got past. And, oh no, he's just leading from front. It's actually O'Fray that's moved forward. No, in fact, no, the top 5 are as they started. They're going quite sensibly here, although this time Simonson forcing O'Fray onto a tighter line there defensively. In fact, it's not until you get down to P6 with Chinchilla Maza, anyone who's made positions from where they started, although Vaughan Roberts, oh, he is starting to want to have a look. O'Fray has got past... has lost the position to Simonson now as they come into the braking zone. Oh, that's so tight, Corey. They're risky at all there just to get through, and the positions, the battles are already starting to unfold. Although it's really, it's early days, but it's going to be interesting to see where they can get to. And you're right, Perez exactly is out there, mate. He started last and he's up 7 spots already to 12.
That is incredible. And I also just noticed at the back of the field that time going through the hairpin, we lost Vasco Swarovski. He's currently just a couple of seconds off the back of the pack, but he's definitely looking a little bit wounded there, Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can catch what happened. Oh, he got a touch in the rear from the 16 car of Xavier Sanchez by the looks. And that's about all she wrote. Philippides has also crashed. I'm going to take a quick look at what's going on there. He's, it's actually Philippides is into the rear of Swarovski by the looks. It was 19. I was reading it upside down. Sorry, Xavier. Let's go check out what's going on up the front. Still fairly... Look, it's almost one line, really. There's no gaps of more than a second until you're 15th. So the top 14 drivers still within one long train, Corey.
And that is just absolutely incredible, Alex. And, you would normally expect that from a little bit more of a drafty kind of a circuit. This one being the kind of tighter, technical, more sweeping turns. These guys are doing a phenomenal job to stay so close. I mean, the top 3 alone, there is absolutely no gap between them as they headed into the Andretti hairpin this time by. A lot of people locking up and going off the track in turn 2 there, Alex.
Yeah, I think it was Amadio lost some ground there, at least Amadio. Yeah, let's go check out what happened to him. I suggest this is one of the... Oh, yeah, he's got into the rear of the 12 car, and that's cost him... He's way out there. The 12 car, Corey Lean, went with him after getting the touch from behind there. Those two no longer moving forward in the field, but right up the front, Nagai-san, 2.0. He's got a half a second gap, if you don't mind, over Benny Simonson. And I was watching, he's not here tonight, Dennis Johansson. He was racing here early in the week. Benny came out for a race, and just, those of you who know Dennis, he is absolutely no slouch. He's a top flight skippy driver. Benny Simonson drove away from him like he was driving with 2 less cylinders. So, for Nagai-san to be putting a show on like this, pretty impressive. And the question is, can he and Simonson break away and prove themselves to be the class of this field, or will the top, or someone in this top 12 front pack look to go with them?
Well, that is the ultimate question, Alex. And if anyone's going to pull away from the field, you definitely put your money on Simonson there and Nagai, because we know Nagai can be one of the best hot lappers that we have in the field. also just starting to notice there's a couple of gaps starting to form, such as behind Sam Devantier there between Devantier and Marza. There's quite a bit of a gap going in, and between Marza and Kawabe-san as well, there's a little bit of a gap. As our fourth place driver, Vaughan Roberts, makes a mistake in turn 2, Alex.
Yeah, and I didn't even get an off track there. I was watching deeper in the pack as you were calling out those gaps, and yeah, that's might have cost them. Front three now with a, what's that, a 0.9 of a second gap, just under. Cowboy in Sam Devantier sitting there in P4. He does have a sniffer draft. Oh, it's getting worse and worse. It's getting closer to that dreaded 1 second mark. And these three are very smart up front. The question is, can Devantier, with the pace he's found in recent weeks, with 1,000 billion trillion laps that he's done at various tracks around the joint, can he bridge the gap between three of the best drivers going around?
Well, that will be a question that we'll find out the answer to here soon. You'd think if anyone knew any little secret about these skippies right now, Alex, it would definitely be Devantier there in P4. But I'm also just having a little look over my standings, and I can see Christian Perez, P9, Alex, up 10 positions from where he started this race.
Crazy. He is one of the best going around, young Christian Perez. He's also doing great work down there in the Iberian Racing School. You can see the livery on there tonight, IRS. They're putting in some hard yards trying to help people get better with their racing. Good to see Christian out here. We don't see him often enough. And I've got to tell you, he's got some of the worst luck I've ever seen when it comes to SNL. But tonight he's showing what he's got. Up 10 positions in the first 4 laps as they commence lap 5. And oh, it's starting to get busy up front. See what I mean? Now, guys, got the inside run. The draft is not what it used to be. But now Simonson's driven well out of the hairpin to begin the lap. This is going to be 2 for 1. O'Fray forcing the guy around the outside of turn 3 this time round. And Nagai is forced to give up the position. And what it has done, look at that. The Speedy Snails livery has caught right back up. Vaughan Roberts, after that mistake that nearly cost them the front group, he has got back on as well. And that leaves Martha. So we've got front pack of 6 again, Corey. Kawabe-san just out of it, about 1.2 seconds behind this front group.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And that was a crazy little sequence of events that led to that happening. But now is, Simonson's time to shine. We know he likes being in the lead of the race, as we're seeing the Speedy Snails driver of Sam Devantier trying to take third now. And the guy's son coming into the corkscrew. He's going to make that move stick. And he's going to get himself a decent exit out of the corkscrew as well. He's on a charge right now, Alex. He's trying to get right up there and into the action. Same too as Christian Perez, now up 12 positions from where he started.
Damn, the Cowboy getting amongst it, as is Perez. Perez now with the fastest lap with a 35.8. Get that in here. That's lightning fast in the early stages of this one. As they round out lap 5 of 15, we've got 10 to go. And Devantier with that move got himself up a position, but he is 7/10. So I just heard crunching behind, but I don't think we lost anyone. Simonson now on the front of this one with O'Fray. Now, guy's been shuffled 3 spots in 1 lap. He got done by our leaders in Simonson and O'Fray through the opening sector, and then Cowboy chucked it up the inside of the corkscrew. And the guy's son is now fending off the hard-charging Welshman of Nick Vaughan Roberts. And just wondering possibly what hit him, Corey.
Very possibly, Alex. And I think that that crunch that we heard, someone just trying to cut it a little bit too close to the pit wall on the front stretch there. But another thing I noticed is just behind Oscar Marza, there is that one orange car just sneaking up to the back of this pack, Alex.
Holy cow. 35.6 last lap round. Decent effort. I have to say, Christian Perez up 12 cars, 12 spots after starting last on the grid. Didn't put in a quality time. And I just heard more crunching out the back. I think people have got to watch the... oh, yeah, we're losing someone. Bugden. Oh, he's gone around. Let's go check out. I think Lane and Bugden might have had a moment. Lane's clipped in front. I think is he going to come? He's not going to come back on. No, he's fine. Oh, it's got messy into the corkscrew, I think. Oh, that, yep. There you go. Picture tells 1,000 words, as they say. I didn't quite see what happened to Bugden, but he's dropped a few spots as well by the looks. But up front, you got Simonson now, really setting a cracking pace. Undrafted 35.5. That's how you do it, folks. And now he's almost got a gap with Julian O'Fray. Sam Devantier now 8/10 as they go through the first sector this time round. Nagai Sun right on the tail, putting all sorts of pressure over Sam Devantier. I don't know. Sam's got some good new confidence these days. I'm wondering if I let Nagai by and see if I can't bridge this gap.
I don't know, Alex. I mean, at the moment, as you said, 100 trillion and one laps for Sam Devantier in the past 3 or 4 weeks. And, he's definitely running the high of confidence right now. He's P3 in our strongest strength of field ever. And, he'd be wanting to try and fill that gap as much as he can. But I just don't know if he'll have the legs to do it. And we know he's not going to willingly let Nagai back past him.
Absolutely. O'Fray and Simonson now, they've got the magic second up the hill towards Corkscrew this time round. As we see, look at that tight string of cars led by Devantier now in that what has become the secondary battle for the final spot on the podium. Where's Perez? Watch. He's tucked in behind Chinchilla Marza. They've got, what have they got? They're only 8/10 off the back of that secondary group. So I would expect Perez potentially, depends on what Marza wants to do. If he wants to let the hard charging Iberia through, the Spaniard really can make a difference in this field. Look, not unheard of, mate. End of lap 8, start of lap 8 this time round, I beg your pardon. 9 laps to go. I could see, or 8 laps ago, I could see Perez catching the front guys if he gets the right kind of run. And Mars has led him through. What do you reckon, Corey? How far can Perez get?
I reckon Perez will get a solid podium here, but he's going to have to fight his way through this group of 3 that now stands in his way after he's gotten around Marza. So it's not going to be easy for him to get there, but I reckon he's got what it takes to get through these 3 guys and get himself at least onto the podium.
Outstanding drive from Perez, honestly. Now the question is, he's chasing the hare up front. Let's call him Mr. Fox. Perez chasing the hare up front. What can these 2 up front do? Simonson, we know, has all sorts of speed, but Perez with a bit of toe was 3/10 faster last lap, and he was only 2.8 seconds off the lead. I don't know. He's got a few cars to get through. Can Simonson O'Fray run away with it? Oh, look, this race is telling some sort of story, Corey.
It definitely is, Alex, and I'm loving every single word that's been written right now because these guys absolutely pushing the limits of these poor little skippies. I don't think these skippies have ever been driven so hard in their lives at the moment because the lap times we're seeing, just some of the things that these guys are doing in these cars is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, who would have ever thought that we'd see someone gain 13 positions in 8 laps of skippy racing in the top split with our strongest strength of field ever?
Yeah, absolutely.
At Laguna Seca of all tracks.
And he's just put down the fastest lap. Must have invalidated it somewhere because it didn't come up purple, but it was same as last lap, more or less, 35.1. That's crazy around here. And look at him now. He's got 3 cars to try and get past here as we ride on board with the man himself, Christian Perez. Talking so much about him. Look, he's up 13 positions after starting last, and he's riding this thing up to his neck. The gap's now 1.5 seconds in front of Devantier before we hit Simonson and O'Fray. The question is, how quick can he get through here, and what sort of damage can he do to that gap in the second half of this one, Corey?
That will be the ultimate question, Alex, and there's going to have to be a wait and see kind of a game. Because these 3 that are in front of him, notoriously hard to pass, especially Vaughan Roberts, who is trying to make an outside pass on Nagai-san into the first part of the corkscrew. It's going to be the inside for the second half. Oh, tight margins, and here comes Perez.
100% slowed down. Oh, Perez, he's got through. Look at that. Sorry, Corey, go ahead.
So now Perez on the tail of Nagai-san after the mistake and the slowdown for Vaughan Roberts, and Vaughan Roberts still trying to serve that slowdown, so he's now going to lose a spot to Marza as well, Alex.
Yeah, risk versus reward that time round for Vaughan Roberts, and unfortunately the risk outweighed the reward there. Devantier now 7/10 ahead of Nagai with Perez hot on his tail. What does Perez do this time round? He will dead set have a look here for look at him right up the tailpipe. Oh, the zigging, the zagging. He's going to go much deeper under brakes, try and get the drive out. Not this time round. Nagai-san held onto it, although, oh no, Perez again. Race IQ, doesn't compromise the line, doesn't want to lose any more time. doesn't get the move done, but then, you know, doesn't compromise the speed for the rest of the lap. Waits for the better opportunity. I mean, the man's up 14 positions already, and the gap in front now is, let's have a look here, it's about 2.2 seconds between O'Fray and Devantia. They were lapped at a 35.2 in the lead pack and a 36.1 to Naoya Nagai behind, 35.5. So, yeah, they're not making up any time at the moment, and with 5 laps to go when they cross the line next time round, Perez at this stage is probably hunting for that final spot on the podium, and that's about it, Corey.
That's about all he should be expecting right now, Alex, but you never know. In motor racing, anything can happen. Simpson and O'Fray could end up starting a battle here as we're starting to get closer to 5 laps to go, and you never know, they could make a mistake, and all of a sudden Perez, instead of fighting for a 3rd place, could be fighting for the win here with Devantia and Nagai.
Oh, Perez chucks it up the inside of the final corner. He wants to get past and get into the draft to the Cowboy. Not this time round, though. Nagai-san, as we hop on board, looking rear at Perez. Which way are they going to go this time? Nagai defending very hard. The Perez has got all the pace, though. What's he got for us down through the first hairpin there? Much deeper under brakes this time. Will he get the drive, or will he have to tuck in behind? Great defence by the Japanese driver there this time round. Nagai, this time, better drive, and up the inside goes Perez. He got it done this time round. He'll have the inside. Oh, the wiggles and the yips there. A little bit of net code maybe. They managed to fight on, and Perez finally gets it done. Now he's got 1.1 seconds off to Sam Devantia. I don't know. With the pace he's got here tonight, though, it could be a lap or maybe 2 to get onto the back of Sam Devantia. Certainly, with 4 laps to go when they cross the line this time round, you reckon he's got it in him to get on the back and maybe have a crack?
I definitely think he does, Alex. He's got the skill and determination right now to absolutely shrink that gap like it was nothing. And Devantia being in space all on his own right now, you know, the clear space in front and behind, he's going to start settling into a bit of a groove, and we could see him, you know, potentially just start slowing down here a little bit as he's getting comfortable with the gaps forming. So, you know, I reckon Perez definitely in with a shot for a podium right now.
Yeah, the question is, I think the race is probably gone. I think it's now down between Simpson and O'Fray out in front. Perez now, he hasn't put that much of a dent in Devantia, if I'm honest, probably half a tenth since he made that move on Nagai-san. Devantia showing a great set of pace there. He did, last lap was a 35.6 undrafted, 35 dead for Vaughan Roberts in the middle of that pack, behind with a bit of draft, 35.7, so a tenth and a bit slower for Christian Perez on the back of Sam Devantia, although now through that first sector he's gained close to 3/10. That's what you call getting a good run through the first sector. Back into draft, Devantia no doubt watching his mirrors by now.
Oh, indeed he should be, Alex, because Christian Perez up 15 positions from where he started in our strongest strength of field ever. This man is absolutely insane. I'm starting to question whether he is even a man and whether he's a robot at the moment, Alex, because the way that he's been going through this field has been absolutely surgical.
Yeah, green skin if nothing else. And what do we got now? Yeah, he's gained another 10th through that second sector. On the run up the hill now, he's well and truly in draft and will be pulled up the hill by Devantia, who's through the corkscrew this time round. You can see that orange and blue car definitely filling his mirrors. Meanwhile, up the front, calm and collected, Simonson leading O'Fray, who's right there waiting for his shot at the title in the last lap or so, one would think, but they don't want to jeopardise the speed that they've got working together because they know the group behind, who's Perez now. Can I tell you, Devantia's doing a great job. You know, he only lost with the draft maybe another 10th and a half in the remainder of that lap. It was really this first sector where Perez made so much time, and he's got a 10th down the straight. The only time you hit 5th gear on this track, into the braking zone now, and he's got, let's see again, a 10th and a half through there, and Devantia doing a fantastic job. Leading the way for ANZ this time round. Nagai-san, the fastest lap last time round, just behind Perez. First one into the 34s. When did we last say that at Laguna Seca in a skip? I don't think I have, Corey.
I don't think you have either, Alex, because this is actually the first time that I've been your broadcast partner for a Laguna Seca race, and I've got to say, the action that I'm seeing here is absolutely tremendous. Normally, I have a hate-hate relationship with this track. You and me were discussing this just before the broadcast, but these guys are absolutely turning up the action, and this is very quickly becoming one of my favorite tracks to watch the racing at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic so far. I'm keen to see what Perez can do. And Nagai-san tucked in behind. Look at this view of the battle as they come through the corkscrew. You've got two cars in front. Perez hard charging up 15 positions. Devantia up 2 from where he started in 5th. This is the prime viewing position for this battle here. My suggestion is now, look at them avoiding that apex bollard there. That'll rip the front suspension, a new one, and force you to pit. The guys doing the avoidance there spectacularly well. They've got the best run through there with the least risk. These guys really working hard now. What do we got? Perez up the tailpipe of Devantia, who takes the defensive line down into the first hairpin this time round. Primary passing opportunity on the track. Look at Perez using all the track. Gets the rotation, a little bit of over rotation and everything. Looking for the early application of throttle. Devantia forced almost to take defensive into 3. Yes, he is, but got it done right. Well done, Devantia, but this has absolutely opened up the gap. They're nearly 4 seconds behind our leaders, and these guys now well and truly are gone. Simonson and O'Fray, they're gone. Penultimate lap. Devantia now taking defensive line into 5, if you don't mind, and everyone coming at him, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And now Devantia taking these defensive lines, it's starting to creep up on him a little bit here. He's starting to slow up this pack a little bit. As you were saying, the gap is starting to grow more and more. And this is actually going to open up the chance for Perez to really get on him and try and get around him as they go side by side through the corkscrew. Will Perez be able to avoid the slowdown? And it looks like he has, and he's managed to take over the 3rd position now, Alex, with a beautiful move coming out of the corkscrew.
What a move there. Set it up beautifully. You're right. There's such a danger of the slowdown there, and this time round Perez nailed it, where unfortunately Vaughan Roberts was unable to. Now, the question is, can Devantia have another crack at him now? We're on the last lap this time round. We should go check in on our leaders as they cross the line into the primary passing overtaking opportunity. I got my words mixed up there. This time O'Fray has a look on the outside, but he hasn't got the deep braking into 1. What's going on our second pack? Side by side, Nagai-san having a look on Devantia this time round. Devantia also under threat from Vaughan Roberts, although Nagai really looking like more so under threat. Back up front, in a tertiary passing opportunity into turn 5 coming up. O'Fray trying to put all sorts of pressure over the race leader, Benny Simonson, after working with him the whole way. No, not this time round. He hasn't got the run. Perez now having to defend, but no, they're all on clean racing lines. No one quite got the drive to attack Corey as they run up the hill for the final time.
Watching our leaders now, Simonson and O'Fray. O'Fray definitely looking for any opportunity to try and get past almost contact as Simonson takes the defensive line. Coming into the corkscrew, they're still nose to tail, and it looks like they're going to both take the clean racing line here. You can see O'Fray take a slightly wider entry, trying to straighten up the corkscrew there.
At the inside of the corkscrew. Sorry, Corey. Oh, I wonder if he's pushed. Oh, they're gone. They're gone. It was so close there. Vaughan Roberts goes through behind Nagai-san. We'll take a look at the wash-up. I don't know how they got through there without crashing, and then I was about to say it, and then they crashed. Benny Simonson.
Oh, the leaders are crashing.
Leaders. What's going on there? There's so much to look at. We'll have to come back and catch that as well as O'Fray carries on, but he will not get the win. It's going to be Naoya Nagai after all that. Nagai from Roberts from O'Fray. Oh my gosh. Okay, which one first? Let's go check out O'Fray and Simonson first. Hang on. Here we go. Let's go check. Oh, hang on. I want to go a bit further back than that, please. Oh, did O'Fray just catch the what's the name? The dirt on the outside? Let's go just that little bit further back. What's happened there?
The way I see it, Alex, is Simpson came across to try and it down a little bit. I don't know why Perez has turned left so violently.
No.
Might
I'm
have been
looking at.
something to
I'm
do with his
looking at. Sorry,
brakes.
mate. I'm looking at O'Fray and
Yeah,
Simonson,
no,
which was
sorry.
for the win. I just want to go back
Yeah.
there.
No
He
idea
was.
why Afraid turned left so violently there.
Yeah, like Simonson's coming across the cover. Oh, do you reckon he's trying to go back underneath him? Maybe. Oh,
Possibly.
yeah, because Simonson was coming across to cover. Take as much line as he could through there. All right, well, that's one. Might hear more about that. Let's go check out Perez and Devantier. Now, this is the big run through here. Sam did amazingly well to get it up the inside here. Perez was confident around the outside. That's where we saw him make the overtake earlier in the race. And Devantier's carried a lot of speed. Look how much he pushes out. I think Perez is going to get the slowdown regardless. I think Sam's probably overcooked that and he's and then Perez is unsettled on the inside and is pushed out. Yeah, look, ultimately that's a last lap incident. I don't think the stewards would have too much to say about that other than, well, it's a pretty dramatic accident if it was in real life. But I think Sam, if anything's probably overcooked it a little bit. And that's sort of cascaded into that event. But, what a way to finish. And again, the luck of Christian Perez. I can't believe it, Corey. He's finished last. Can you believe that? After all that?
I have no words for that because he was so good there, Alex. 16 positions gained when that incident happened. And, I reckon it is what it is. It's the last race, last lap of the race. And, Tempers are flaring right now in the voice channel in the race server. But at the end of the day, they got to look at it for what it is. It's the last lap. They were both racing for a podium there, and they both desperately wanted it. And they just made a little bit of contact in a very difficult place to go too wide. And they may have gotten through it once, but I think they were pushing their luck there a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a look at our results in what was, a pretty fantastic race. I've got to say, I really enjoyed watching that one. Thanks to the drivers who put on such a fantastic show. Here we are, the results for round 6 from Laguna Seca Season 25 Sunday Night Lights, and our biggest strength of field ever in the 25 season. So fantastic turnout. Thank you everyone for the support. Now Nagai, he put it on pole and he hung in there. He got sort of battered and bruised. Well, no contact, but certainly everyone had a crack at the Japanese driver here tonight, and he's hung on with patience and fortitude, and he's got across the line first. Congratulations, Nagai-san, the winner of the highest strength of field ever in Sunday Night Lights. Nick Vaughan Roberts for Two Fools Racing, after picking up the slowdown early and dropping 2 or 3 positions in his attempt to move forward, he's finished second. Julian O'Fray, after that incident right at the tail, has finished in third. Oscar Chinchilla-Maza, the Iberian driver, he's come home in fourth after a couple of folks have fallen away. Nathan Wade, similarly, he's finished in fifth, the UK&I driver. Takumi Yamato has come from almost nowhere. He's up, he's only up a couple. He did qualify well. He's finished in sixth. Loris Amato, the first of the 2 Italians, in seventh. His compatriot Giuseppe Cellini in eighth. Gael Kawabe, the other Japanese driver here tonight, he's finished in ninth. Xavier Sanchez, he's up 7 positions to finish in 10th, as was Hiroshi Ueda, the final Japanese driver there. He's finished in 11th. Vasco Swarovski has come all the way back after that pit stop to finish inside the points and be the leading ANZ driver in 12th. Brett McBurney on his welcome back to Sunday Night Lights for McFlabby Racing. The other ANZ driver here in 13th tonight, Dimitri Philippidis from Asia in 14th. Kevin Bugden for Nippy Racing and UK&I all the way down in 15th, as was Corey Lynn behind him in 16th. The ANZ driver having another eventful night. Benny Simonson and Christian Perez in that final little picture there. Although I think they're down a lap, but I haven't seen the Cowboy. I think the official results, I've got a conflict because one says 18th and one says 19th. So I guess the story will be told in the official iRacing results. But regardless, some of our leading contenders who really did put on a show tonight, Corey, finishing all the way down at the tail. Quite disappointing in the end.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And what I've got Simpson 17, Perez 18, and Devantia 19. That really doesn't tell the story of this race. I mean, I could see in the chat here that people were saying that we deserved a better finish to that race. Why don't we just enjoy it for the race that it was? Absolutely exciting stuff all the way through that race. And Christian Perez, 16 gained before that incident. That is such an incredible effort, especially considering it's our biggest strength of field ever. And Frey probably caused that crash between himself and Simonson. He still crawled home for a P3, which is quite the effort considering he was stopped dead on the track for a while there.
Yeah, crazy stuff. They had a fair lead with the battling going on behind, but it'd be interesting to hear what they've got to say. So we might pull them up and say g'day. We'll start in finishing order. We'll start with Mr. Julian O'Fray. Julian, it all came down to that last lap, and it looked like a really awkward one into the final corner. Can you run us through what happened, mate?
It may be my biggest mistake since I raced Sunday night late. I would like to cross just before breaking point, and I totally missed my move. I'm so disappointed, especially for Benny. I waited for him, but he just can't finish his race. What is the saddest part? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It looked like you were trying to come back underneath him as he moved across, and perhaps misjudged it by the sound of it. It's a shame, mate. You guys had the benefit of the guys behind battling, but also with the pace to make use of it. So, big night, big highest strength of field we've ever had, and yeah, as you say, it's just a disappointing end. But thank you for coming in and sharing that, and I'm sure Benny will appreciate the apology. It's a tough way to finish. You guys up the front in the front two packs put on an amazing show. So thank you for your support, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No. Just again, all my apologies to Benny. It's unbelievable. I made this mistake. Usually, I enjoy after my race, but this one, clearly not. No.
Yeah, it's fair enough, mate. It's a tough night out when that happens, and certainly appreciate you coming up and sharing your thoughts on it. And like I said, I'm sure Benny will appreciate it. These things happen, mate. But hopefully, things will get better for you next week, and we might talk to you then, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
See you next week. Bye.
There you go, Corey. Julian O'Fray, yeah, and the comment from the chat was he sounded gutted, and I think he did. I first thought that he must have caught the sand on the outside. The shifting of the rear was so dramatic, but yeah, just a momentary lapse there, and it happens. Like we're all human at the end of the day, and mistakes will happen.
Well, that's exactly right at the end of the day, and he is well and truly gutted because he doesn't want to get a decent finish after having such a great race for the majority of the race to end like that. It's not his style. It's not the way he races, and you can hear that in his voice. That's definitely not the way that he wanted that to go. And I know Simonson, once they reach out to each other, Simonson will definitely appreciate that apology because human as well, and we've seen him make a couple of mistakes here and there. None that have affected things this badly, but they're both really good guys, really good drivers, and they'll have a chat about it, and they'll come back bigger and bigger next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately for Benny, he had I don't know what the incident that caused it was in the warm-up race, but he had two essentially DNFs. So, a bit shattering for him tonight. Hopefully, he has better luck in the weeks to come. But we might grab the other sad fella here tonight, Mr. Sam Devanti, the cowboy, who ended up to his eyeballs throughout and really putting on a great show, mate. It looked like it just didn't quite work through the corkscrew there, mate. Tell us, how did it finish up?
Not gonna lie, the nerves were pretty high. They were pretty.
I can bet.
Christian's like, just getting closer. Like, oh no, I need the guy to fight more. That's all I need in the fight. But now I'm gutted. I feel bad for Christian because it's just hard. Like I made a mistake, and yeah, it is what it is. Like I stuffed up. I'm
Yeah,
in the
mate.
wrong.
Yeah, it happens, mate. It's look, I was really impressed with the drive that you put in. Equally, or perhaps don't take it the wrong way, but Perez's drive was outstanding. And look, you're not a race driver if you don't chuck it up the inside there on the final corner. On the final lap, and when you're running that close to the edge with one of the best guys in the world, sometimes these things happen, mate. So don't be too hard on yourself. I'm sure Christian again will appreciate the apology and. Mate, on to bigger and better things. But look, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Just you guys. Like, we put on a good show every week, and yeah, that's about it really. And my twitch.tv, the Cowboy99. That's about it really.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, mate. Good to see you, and look forward to seeing you in the big races to come.
Yep. See you guys.
There you go, Corey. That was Cowboy. Yeah, look, he put on a great drive tonight. Really impressed with what he's done with his Skippy racing and this season in particular. And, always great to see, I just wish, I was going to say great to see him doing well, but then at the end wasn't quite what he was looking for.
Yeah, but that's also a byproduct of, like, not what happened at the end there, but him doing that well. That's a byproduct of all the time that he's been putting into his Skippy racing lately. As you said, he's done like 100 trillion and one laps in the past 4 or 5 weeks, and the results are showing his I rating is the highest that it's been in a very long time. I've also just noticed in the chat Benny Simonson accepting Julian's apologies, and we knew he would. He's a great guy, and just a whole lot of hard racing, especially on the last lap there, just going a little bit wrong for our drivers, but. At the end of the day, we're all human. We all know mistakes happen, and we move on. Look forward to next week when we go to Snetterton and restart it all again and have a little bit more fun, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Really pleased with obviously with the turnout tonight and the racing that was put on as a result. It's not often, like I said, that you need over 4,200 I rating to get into a Skippy race, and certainly the community's got behind this one, and it's fantastic. And the racing was just awesome. So. Congratulations to all the drivers, those who's had great nights and those who had less so. Fantastic night out. So well done. All right, Corey, that might do us for this week. Tell the folks at home what you got coming up.
So on my new YouTube channel, Speedway Memes Media, there's going to be feature race action from the Speedway meeting that I went to last night. Which was a great meeting, a lot of really good racing, and a couple of records broken throughout the night as well. Fantastic to see. We've got a couple of maybe some GTA streams coming up on my personal channel, which will be linked in the screen here shortly. And also on Wednesday at 11:20 a.m. Western Australian time, we're going to have a 150-mile race from the Five Flags Speedway. 150 laps there, and that's with the Output Racing League over at the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator for the Output Racing League. So that should be a bit of a cracking race as well, Alex. On Friday night, I'm going to be back at the Speedway once more for the round number 1 of the Fast Fridays, and you'll be able to see some videos from that popping up on the Facebook and then on the YouTube the day and 2 days afterwards, respectively. Then back here again with you next week when we go to Snetterton, Alex.
Nice, busy week ahead. Well, folks, check out the Locked On iRacing podcast where I join Braden Martin and Peter Wilkinson, and we talk all things ANZ's iRacing, skippies and the likes, news and results, and of course there's the full coverage of the SNL week that was. We've been having a great time over there, really enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun, and hopefully folks are enjoying it. But check it out on all your podcasting type apps that you like on your phone or whatever, and make sure you check it out. But otherwise, folks, everything Top Split is on your screen at the moment. Join us in the Discord community where you find the results and the replays and everything, or also on the Top Split YouTube channel, which is where you find this and every other race replay from the 25 seasons of Sunday Night Lights. And of course, as Corey said, we will be back here on Twitch on the Top Split TV YouTube channel, same time each and every week. And so thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was a bumper night, really enjoyed it. and the racing was spectacular, as was the field. So bigger and better things. Let's get to it. All right, folks, thanks for joining us. And on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, wishing you good night and saying ciao for now.